Audio Jungle.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, America. I'm your host, Shane, and this is your daily dose of geology. Today, we'll be talking and discussing about Zion. Standing at 6 foot 6 inches tall, 285 pounds, that's a mountain if I've ever seen one. What's that? We're not talking about Zion Williamson? Talking about Zion National Park? Okay, if that's what the people want. Zion National Park. Established in 1919, spanning over 146,000 acres, roughly 590 square miles, located in southwestern Utah, takes up a big chunk of the state. You know how this show usually goes. We're going to invite some guests on. They're going to answer some questions. We have some people in the field who are ready to talk about Zion National Park. By the end of the day, you're going to be an expert. So let's get started. Back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, Mormon pioneers discovered what we now know as Zion National Park. They were outstanding and in awe of the beauty of this land. So they decided to give it the name for the Old Testament name of Jerusalem, hence the name Zion. One of the main attractions at Zion National Park is, of course, the Zion Canyon. It starts all the way at the Grand Canyon in Arizona and ends at the Bryce Canyon. According to National Geographic, the park's ecosystems hold and support up to 800 different plant species. That's more flowers than anywhere else in the state of Utah. If you ever do decide to take a trip down to this great park, it won't take more than a couple strides out of the parking lot and you'll find yourself in the woods. Don't be afraid to explore a little because there's tons of hidden gems all scattered throughout the park that are being waited to be discovered. For this next part of the show, we're going to introduce a caller and ask them 3 questions. If they get all 3 questions right, they're going to win a trip to Zion National Park. Roddy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for having me on.
All right, great. All right, well, you know how it goes. We're going to ask you questions. You're going to have to answer them right, and you'll win a trip. So why don't we just get started? All right, Roddy, we're going to give you 20 seconds to answer each question. So let's just begin. First question is, how deep and long is the Zion Canyon? Is it A, 30 miles long and 4,000 feet deep? B, 15 miles long and 3,000 feet deep? Or is it C, 100 miles long and 20,000 feet deep? Your 20 seconds starts now.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna get rid of C, 100 miles long, 20,000 feet deep. That just doesn't seem right. I'm really between A and B. I'm leaning towards A, 30 miles long, 4,000 feet deep, but I'm not sure. No, I'm gonna go with B.
And
I'm gonna
that's
go with
time.
B. Final answer.
Roddy, you chose B, 15 miles long and 3,000 feet deep. The correct answer is B. You got it right. All right. Moving on to the next question. It is said that Zion National Park is on a feature called the Grand Staircase. What does this mean? Is it A, there are steps leading up and down the canyon for easy access? B, bottom layer of the Bryce Canyon is on top of the Zion Canyon, and the bottom layer of the Zion Canyon is on top of the Grand Canyon? Or is it C, the iconic song Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin was recorded in the canyon? 20 seconds starts now.
As much as I wish C was the correct answer, because that song is just amazing, I think I'm gonna have to cross that out. I don't really think there are steps leading up and down. I think that would just ruin the conservation of the whole park. So I think I'm gonna go with B. Yeah, B. Final answer.
All right, your 20 seconds is up. Hoping you got this one right. So you picked B. The bottom layer of the Bryce Canyon is on top of the Zion Canyon, and the bottom layer of the Zion Canyon is on the top of the Grand Canyon. How confident are you?
Oh, I'd say I'm like 70% confident.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to say you got it right.
Let's go.
You're almost there. Just one more question, and now's a better time than ever to ask it. So, this one's a little tough. How was this Zion Canyon formed? Is it A, streams began eroding and cutting into the rock layers, forming deep canyons? B. Divergent plate boundaries pulled apart Earth's crust and formed the canyons? Or is it C. Ancient dinosaurs dug out the canyons and put their valuables in it? Your 20 seconds starts now.
Oh man, you weren't kidding when you said this is a tough one. I'm really not sure. I don't think the dinosaurs did it. I just don't think they were advanced enough and they weren't strong enough. Divergent plate boundary sounds really right. I think I remember hearing about that in school. But I'm just gonna go A.
Okay, and that's 20 seconds. Remember, this is the last question. I'm really hoping you got it right because it'd be great to see someone actually win one of these. So, you chose A. The streams began eroding and cutting into the rock layers, forming deep canyons. You know, B, the divergent plate boundary sounds pretty right, but you won! You've gotten all 3 questions right, and now we're going to fly you down to Zion National Park, where you can spend your vacation there and have lots of fun. Thank you, Roddy, for coming on. Appreciate you. Good, congratulations again, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Hey, thank you so much, man. It really means a lot. I'm just overwhelmed.
Alright, let's go over some of these answers. Now, for how the Zion Canyon was formed, deep in Earth's crust, forces started pushing the surface up, causing a kind of valley-like form. Now, this valley began to have waters running through it, hence the rivers. These rivers were so fast, they were able to cut into the ground, forming these canyons. Alright, let's go a little bit further into explanation of the Grand Staircase. So, the Grand Canyon, the Zion Canyon, and the Bryce Canyon are all connected, they're just at different parts. So, the Bryce Canyon is at the highest elevation out of all of them. And the lowest part of the Bryce Canyon is where the top part of the Zion Canyon is. And this goes with the same as the Grand Canyon, where the lowest part of the Zion Canyon is the highest part of the Grand Canyon. Okay, now we're going to cut away to our specialist in the field, all the way at Zion National Park. Take it away, Bruce.
Hello everybody, it's me Bruce over at Zion National Park. Sorry if it's a little windy, it is a bit chilly out here today, but as you can see, I've made myself into the woods. I've wandered off the beaten path, and I'm also in a bit of a canyon, yeah? Now, want to let you guys know, Zion Canyon is not the only canyon at Zion National Park. There are tons of tiny little canyons that you can find everywhere you go. Now, there's also this trail back here that I'm about to go on and explore. Hopefully, I'll be able to see some wild animals, maybe even some flowers or plants, maybe some endangered species. I don't know, but it'll be nice. Well, that's all I've got for you right now. Back to you, Shane.
Alright, Bruce, always nice to have you. You're always full of little facts and trivia for us. So, let's talk about the conservation of Zion National Park. Obviously, we don't just want the beauty to be seen just for our generation. We want it to be continued through future generations. So, what is Zion Park doing to keep this? According to the National Park Service, Zion National Parks is always looking for new ways to sustain the environment. They do this by striving to achieve their 10 goals. What are these goals, you might ask? Well, let me explain. The first goal is to be climate friendly and climate ready. We don't want to hurt the climate, as climate change is already an issue. We want to be ready for the ever-changing climate. Second goal is be energy smart. We don't want to waste a bunch of energy on useless stuff, so you need to conserve your energy usage. Third goal is be water wise. You don't want to pollute in the lakes and rivers that are over at Zion National Park or anywhere in the world for that case. Fourth goal is green our rides. Cars have a big impact on the climate change, especially big trucks. We want to change this and use maybe more fuel efficient vehicles. Fifth goal is buy green and reduce, reuse, and recycle. This is just the recycling circle. You want to reuse everything you can, you want to reduce your waste, and you want to recycle everything that you can't reuse. Sixth goal is to preserve outdoor experiences. You don't want to mark your names on trees and spray paint things so future generations have a ruined site. Seventh goal is promote healthy engagement. You want to tell and spread the word to other people to preserve these lands. You want to promote them to be healthy to the environment. Eighth goal is strengthen sustainability beyond our boundaries. We want to help future generations in sustaining the parks, so we have to prepare them. Ninth goal is green our ground. Be aware of your footprint and make sure to leave everything nicer than you left it. Last goal is continuously improve environmental performance. You don't want to chop down trees or get rid of plants that you don't have to, or you shouldn't at all. You want to preserve everything as it is. It seems like that's all the time we have for our show. I want to thank everybody for coming out here. Hopefully you learned everything. Hopefully you learned a lot. And I hope to see you next week. Peace.